Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we're back, man. Episode 286.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get right into it. Shop till you drop. TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx shoppers claim that the store has a laxative effect that makes them need to poop every time they visit. So is this true, or are the customers full of shit? Let's get into it.
Probably both.
Right? All right. Shop till you drop. There it goes. TJ Maxx is perhaps best known as a mecca for budget hunters on a lookout for the latest deal. But the chain is now going viral for very different reasons altogether, with dozens of customers claiming that they feel an overwhelming urge to poop every time they enter the store. Fashionistas are going viral on TikTok after sharing the discount store has a laxative effect. While searching through the racks for the best deals possible, people feel the need to run to the restroom, and it's more common than you think. Customers have been sharing their experiences at TJ Maxx that sees them having a poop as soon as they step foot in the store. Here's my thing. Here's a couple things. Activity makes you move your bowels, right? That's a known fact. Why do you think they say, hey, we're going to go take a dog for a walk? Mm-hmm. Because once you walk that dog enough, he's gonna take a massive dog shit. And we're no different, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little activity, get the juices flowing, get that stomach acid moving a little bit. And some of you guys are just constipated, man. Like, maybe there is a laxative effect, but maybe you're just full of shit, literally. Maybe you don't get enough physical activity, and maybe that's why you have to shit. Or it just could be, maybe it's excitement, or you know what? No one's saying this. Most people, because it's just showing a bunch of women on here, because I know women love to go shop at TJ Maxx and they love to go to Target. Target is the number one place that if you told a woman to stay in her place, that place would be Target.
Women for sure love Target.
Stay in your place.
Yeah.
I'll be on aisle 9. Well, the prequel to TJ Maxx is usually like some type of Starbucks beverage or something like that. So it's always like, look, I gotta get me my freaking Starbucks or whatever, and then I'm gonna go there. And they don't realize that they don't have to shit because of TJ Maxx. They gotta shit because of fucking Starbucks.
Yeah.
So they went to TJ Shits before they went to TJ Maxx.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see no connection there. I just think that, like you said, people be constipated. Depending on the time of day, if you going in there, maybe late morning, like you said, after you've had your coffee. And then you actually, when you're in the store, you walking around. So, right. that's getting the bowels flowing and stuff like that. And then, you just, and I mean, TJ Maxx, maybe it's not necessarily something that TJ Maxx is doing, but it's just the experience of shopping in the mall like that. So, I mean, not at a mall, but in a shopping place like that. And they more than welcome you in there because, the longer you stay in there, the more money you're going to spend. So they make sure them bathrooms is just clean enough for you to stay in there and not leave and go home, to use the bathroom.
This is great news for TJ Maxx. It's great publicity, but it's bad news for the janitor. So the janitor is in there like, I wish you niggas would stop coming in here to shit. You know what's wild? Back when I used to work in the mall, this kind of stands up, but it doesn't. I used to work in the mall back in 2006 to like 2008, right? And I remember before the store would open up, because I used to work at Sears, when the store would open up, there would be a bunch of elderly people that walked inside of the mall before all the stores open, and they did it for exercise. Because the main...
I remember. They probably still do that.
But there'd be a bunch of elderly people that walk around the mall for exercise, but the bathrooms would be open. So you just see a bunch of old people walking out of the bathroom. So that's probably how they got their bowels moving.
Yeah.
But don't ever underestimate a good bowel movement, because those are important.
Old people also not ashamed of going to the bathroom anywhere.
Oh, they don't give a fuck.
They lived enough life where they'll take a dude on a Walmart and a Target. And a TJ Maxx anywhere.
They don't give a fuck. They took a shit in the street during the Great Depression. They don't give a fuck.
Burlington Coat Factory too.
Yeah, they lived through so much shit. The Great Depression, segregation.
Yeah.
A good old
Spanish flu.
Yes. They lived through a fucking pandemic.
Civil rights movements.
Yeah.
They was taking doo-doos while Martin Luther King was getting bit up by dogs and canines.
They went from the civil rights movement to the civil bowel movement.
Civil bowel movement. That's the name of the pod. Civil bowel.
They was over there farting while Martin Luther King was giving his speech. He's like, I have a dream.
That's comedy. That's hilarious.
Oh man. Sometimes you move your bowels so good in the morning, you just feel like more athletic.
Dang.
Like I could run I could run faster. I could jump higher type shit.
You run a 4.3 after you do the
It's like, man. I just start just doing jumping jacks after I get off the toilet. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I had to do the one time at football practice.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. I was like, hey, coach, I got to use the bathroom. He like, you got to go pee? Because, you know, if you got to pee, they might tell you to go pee over there by the fence. I was like, nah. This is the big one. It's the big one.
Shit on 3. 1, 2, 3. Shit. Shit.
Funny.
I mean Dallas Cowboys.
Blue doo doo doo. Blue doo doo doo. Said hike.
Shitty booty 7. Shitty booty 7. Kill. Dookie booty 7-5. Dookie booty 7-5.
Omaha.
All my draws. Hike.
Oh
man, that's so crazy. And I got another article here that's kind of in line with this conversation. Mm-hmm. It says 14 ways to make yourself poop when you need fast relief, according to doctors. Cool. And it says pooping habits are one of those things you probably don't give much thought until you can't go. Suddenly searching how to make yourself poop in hopes you'll get things flowing again. And let's go down here. Okay. Up your fluid intake, which is an obvious one.
Yeah.
You definitely got to be hydrated. Water is really important for relieving constipation. And a gastroenterologist, I'm probably saying that fucked up, at Providence St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, if you're just not a water person, trying to get enough through other liquids like brothy soups or water-rich produce like watermelon, just take a pass on sugary drinks, as they could make the problem worse. The actual amount of liquids you need varies by person by the U.S. National Academies of Science and Engineering. Wow. So you guys, and then it says eat more fiber-rich foods. Like, this is common knowledge stuff. Most Americans don't get enough fiber because they don't even count it to begin with. Mm-hmm. You need to turn around those nutrition facts on the back of your products and see how much fiber you're getting. And look at the serving size, right? How many servings does it take to get how many grams of fiber? You need to start reading it because we're getting older. So if you just get a bunch of like starchy bullshit food that has no fiber, you're going to be, even if you're slightly moving your bowels, you're walking around constipated because you don't get enough fucking fiber.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely get more fiber-rich foods. Another one, enjoy a cup of coffee. I disagree with that. I fucking hate coffee. I don't need it. Get moving. So you get activity, going to the gym really gets those bowels moving. Mm-hmm. Have some healthy fats, avocados, almonds, things of that nature. Sip on warm water. No, I'm not doing that. Load up on probiotics. Probiotics will blow your fucking drawers off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a probiotic, that's just like fucking psyllium husk or all these other shit. They're gonna blow your colon out.
Do you remember the dieters tea back in the day?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That shit. Dieters tea, they just need to call it poop tea. That's all it was. Like those girls that were on those back in the day on Instagram, there was girls that were promoting that tummy tea. Mm-hmm. All it does is just makes people shit. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So they be like, I lost this many inches off my waist. No shit. You fucking shit it out
all day.
Yeah, you shitted out your whole life's worth of poop out of your body because you had that shit.
Yeah.
And then you got your tummy tucked acting like it was a tea that did it with your lying ass.
Yeah.
You got a BBL and a tummy tuck. Try using heat therapy. Oh, wow. Consider a stool softener. See, they gave all those reasons, but like, oh, no. Well, yeah. I guess you guys get the drift. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. But don't underestimate the relief you get from a good bowel movement, because we're getting older and you got to watch what you're eating. If you're eating a bunch of hot Cheetos and a bunch of foods that don't have fiber in them, you know, you're going to be moving your bowels simply because you're going to barely move your bowels, but you're going to be moving, and you're going to have little small bowel movements thinking that you're regular, but you're really not. Mm-hmm. You're leaving about 70% of your bowel movements inside of you. Mm-hmm. Did you know you can have up to like 35 pounds of shit?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of shit, man. Mm-hmm. I'm about to schedule a colonic soon.
Yeah.
I haven't had one before, but I heard it's good to flush everything out once.
Mm-hmm. When is it? Ain't that around the time when you get in your 40s or something?
No. You're thinking of a fucking
colonoscopy.
Yeah, colonoscopy. Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about that. That's a totally different procedure.
The colonic is when they just shoot water up your booty.
Yeah, it's that, but they get the impurities out and they take all the, you know, the toxins out of your stomach.
Yeah.
So yeah, a colonic, I'll probably end up doing that because it's good, man.
Intense, yeah.
Yeah, get a colonic, blow all that shit out, because I mean, I've been around 38 years, man. So even if I've taken some cleansers and stuff like that over the years to blow stuff out, but there could be things that are grabbing onto your colon walls, like your impurities, and those are the things that can cause diseases. Mm-hmm. You know, make you sick, dude.
Yeah,
you got to get it out.
I had to pick up my girl's dad when he got his colonoscopy. It was just
really,
yeah. He's saying he just kind of felt violated a little bit.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That's got to be a crazy experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard, and you picked him up. I mean, it must have been. How long did you pick him up after the procedure?
I'm not sure how. You know, I don't know how long he was sitting around, but yeah.
Because dude, they don't let you out until you fart. They you have to like significantly fart before they let you out. Mm-hmm. So you're lucky he didn't fucking blow ass on you. Because if he did, it's completely understandable, because colon, they put so much air in there in your gut that you're supposed to, they don't even let you leave until you fart. Because I did some research. And you just be blowing it out because it's they gotta make sure your gut's on point. But yeah, I think the people have heard enough about shit today.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll leave you with this question before we move on. Have you shit today?
If not, then go into TJ Maxx.
Yeah, call 1-800-SHIT. If you're taking 3 to 4 days to move your bowels, that's not normal.
That's not good.
It's not good at all, man. You got a bunch of pent up shit inside of you, not just emotionally, but shittily. Okay, so take care of it. Okay, buddy. All right, switching gears. Are you socially aware? And socially aware it's a very nuanced thing, right? And here's some examples that I have here. Leaning into others' perspectives with curiosity, recognizing and acknowledging the inherent strengths in others, demonstrating empathy and compassion, showing concern for feelings of others, identifying diverse cultural and social norms, including unjust ones, recognizing situational demands and opportunities. But it's even more nuanced than this. For example, a lot of people the way that they exist in the world is like they're the main character and the only character in the whole grand scheme of it all, which is weird.
So one person play.
It's just like a player one situation. But have you ever been in a grocery store somewhere and you're walking through the aisle and it's like a person and they have like kids with them and they're like blocking the whole aisle and they're just standing there as if no one else in the store needs to get around them, and you're like, oh, excuse me, and they're like, oh my bad, I didn't know you were there, oh, sorry about that, right? And it's like the way that you did that means you have very low social awareness. It's no different than a guy, right? There'd be a guy on the freeway, he's driving 98 and he's just selfishly driving and zooming around people because he's not even aware of their own safety. He doesn't care about their safety because it's just about him. So he has such a low, not just low empathy, but like he doesn't even give a fuck. And it's sad. There's a lot of people like that. When I reference things, I'm like, hey, how am I inconveniencing this person? You know, I'm talking close. Oh shit, does my breath stink? Do I need to get gum? You know, did I make that person feel this way? Like, you tend to think like that when you have high social awareness. And also it could be anything. I was telling Keith, and Keith was kind of giggling and laughing about it, but it'd be like, I was me and this young lady were hooking up, and I was rocking her world. And I asked her, I was like, "Did you come?" She's like, "No, but it was really good still, but I didn't come." And I was just like, "Oh man." Right. And I wasn't like down, but I just noted it. Because for me, I feel like sex is an even exchange, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's
ideally.
Yeah, it should be an even exchange. And I feel like if you're having sex and you're a guy that's just like, oh, I'm done. And she's sitting there and she didn't come, that's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
Right? And I think if you have situational, or not situational, but social awareness, you feel like, I think she deserves the right to come too.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just kind of how you think. But most people don't think like that. When you get out into the world, you understand that a lot of people are about themselves. And the things that are taking place around them don't like have any effect on how they think. It's weird, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I don't know. You need to have a level of social awareness just to really navigate the world. Because if not, then you like you say, you're kind of this like, you're just kind of like living in a vacuum. I don't know. I don't even think life is pleasant in that way. But I also sometimes envy those people, if that makes sense, because there's some people that are like I know some people on the other side of the spectrum where they're like constantly aware of like people around them, so much so that, you know, like they're almost like asking people if they need something before they need something, or that person also has like the, you know, that they're always there for people. But then there's like the people that are like, they don't have the social, I'm gonna even say they lack social awareness, but for the sake of this conversation, they lack social awareness. Those are the type of people that can say no more easily, you know, like, hey man, oh man, I'm down, I'm doing bad right now. You mind if I borrow $5? And they're like, nah, I don't got it. You know, so those are the type of people that, like, you know, the people that don't have necessarily that social awareness. That I just think that I envy those people because they can say no more oftentimes, or that they're more likely to not have to be at the beck and call of all these situations.
You're right. You're right. But I think there's a flip side to it, that when you're socially aware, you start to, you know, reverse engineer some of those behaviors that you have too, to where you can tell someone no, but you tell them in such a way that's so elaborate that they completely back off you. And you're like, hey man, can I get like $25? Can I get like this and that? You'd be like, you know, at this time, I'm not really set up to be, you know, giving money out right now. Right now, I'm focusing on so many things right now that you know, I can't really be at the aid right now. And then you also have to learn to not say sorry. Don't say like sorry, unfortunately, or none of that.
Yeah, I think that's something that we do a lot of times. Like people apologize for stuff I have. It's like, it's almost like cliche after a certain point. Like, for example, like, you ever like, I don't know, people like something goes bad. Like say you lost your job or something like that. Then you're like, dang, bro, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry to hear that. It's like, what are you, like, you didn't have nothing to do with that. Why are you apologizing to me? I just don't understand that. But
That's weird. Yeah. I think the reason why you can't apologize to people for telling them no is because you don't owe them a fucking apology. And I think that, like, we have to like change our language when we talk to certain people. Like, why are you apologizing to a person that has asked you for money while also owing you money? So they've asked you the last 3 times and haven't paid you back. And you're like, I'm sorry, but this time I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Sorry for what?
Yeah.
Sorry for not being taken advantage of? Mm-hmm. Like, no, it'd be like, hey, I can't do it right now.
Yeah, you got to figure your life out.
That's like, imagine your job, right? Imagine you work in some whatever job, and you do your job, and you know, you do everything that job calls you for. Mm-hmm. And then let's say you set up a vacation. Mm-hmm. You set up a vacation like 5 months in advance. And then you're about to take your vacation, and they're like, hey, it's getting busy. We need you here, so you could just reset that vacation another time. And you say, oh, sorry, I can't. No, don't tell them sorry. Be like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to swing that.
Yeah, that's something that I'm becoming more comfortable with. Like, even in like, because I feel like we apologize too much, and it kind of loses its steam a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, when you just apologizing for like any and everything. Like,
That still validates the other person. Like they still think that you're wrong because you apologized.
yeah.
They think that you were like, they could have did it.
Yeah, I did something wrong to you when
Right.
you asked me for money, so let me get that out of the way. You can just say that, you know. I think sometimes just an acknowledgement is better than an apology.
Yeah.
You know, just because like there's certain situations where sometimes people apologize and they're not genuinely sorry.
Fuck no.
Yeah, but it's also important to like acknowledge the scene, like, hey man, I was supposed to do this, and I didn't. But you know, tomorrow I'm gonna get you, or tomorrow I'm gonna take care of it, or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes people like, oh, I'm just so sorry, man. Like I'm, you know, and you're not really sorry. You're just saying it as a cliche.
Yeah.
I treat apologies like love, if that makes sense. Like I don't tell any and everybody that I love them. Like you got to be somebody I really genuinely care about. And I generally don't like love inanimate objects either. So if I say something about love, then it's genuine. Same thing with an apology. Like 100%. If I'm apologizing for something, it's something that I'm genuinely like, dang, man, like I said I was going to do this, or I said this to this person and I didn't actually mean to say that, or, you know, in retrospect, it was the wrong thing to say. So I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think we got to start using the words, like powerful words, like I'm sorry and I love you and all these things.
Save
like,
it.
Yeah.
Save it for the right people and situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're going to lose their meaning eventually. It's like a motherfucker apologizing to you every time they do the same thing. They don't mean it. Mm-hmm. The best apology is change behavior, not the apology.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you did something once, you apologize, I'll give you a pass. The next time you do it, it's like, motherfucker, you're not really sorry for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. You know? Yeah, so that's the thing. But also you don't want to reinforce people when they're doing something that's inconveniencing you. You don't want to ever reinforce the idea even like at all that you're at fault or that you're sorry or nothing.
Yeah.
You have to there's so many words in the English language that you can use to get your point across and to be very stern on what you mean and move on, and you'll be fine. But that also comes with the social awareness thing. But a lot of times too, like Keith mentioned, people, what the fuck is that?
They building something over there, probably tearing down Bank of America.
You hear that? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, it's like a big machine, ain't it? Mm-hmm. All right, but see, whatever, we're rocking.
I remember I was trying to record some one night. It was like some music or something like that. And it was like right before I was going to meet Nate at the studio. And I was trying to get it done. And it was like somebody with a freaking leaf blower across the street.
Whoa.
I'm like, I'm like, it's 10 o'clock.
And then when
go to bed.
And then imagine like you turn it off. This is why you shouldn't have a studio. Like if you have a studio at home, that's probably worse. Because imagine you're at home trying to record and then you like turn some on and then all of a sudden in the background it's like, oh my God. You're like, oh man. Now I got my cousin in the room doing that.
Yeah. Like, that's
like,
probably how that one song was made. What's that song called?
What it is, ho? What's up? He just said, fuck it. I'm gonna chop this thing up.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, my senior year, we had a neighbors next door, and they used to have sex so loud. It was just annoying.
Yeah.
It was like, this is unnecessary. And the window was always open to where like we would just be in the house chilling and you could hear them having sex.
That's not cool.
Yeah, having sex from like you could hear it. Like, you know how we're talking now, we hear that large truck outside? That's how the sex was. It's like, oh, yes, oh, God. It's like, you guys got to be faking it.
That's learned behavior.
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
Not
like, I remember I was telling you the conversation about like how like the basketball players and they be like kicking the balls around the gym and how they kind of learn that from different people. That's not a real emotion and all this other stuff. Yeah. I think they probably watched a lot of porn or something growing up, and then, you know, when they grew up and had the opportunity to have that same experience, they just felt like the need to yell all the time.
That's ridiculous.
It's good, but it's not that good.
It's like, dude, and it was just like a nuisance. What the fuck is big ass fucking gnat in here? It was such a nuisance. It was hilarious though.
Yeah.
Because it would not last long either. He's like, oh yes, 45 seconds later.
That's crazy.
I think that's even worse. If you're having loud sex that lasts 2 minutes, that's even more of an indictment on you. You got it? Did you get the bug? You're the worst fucking bug killer ever, man.
Hey.
How you got that hairstyle and you can't kill bugs?
This is not a hairstyle killing.
Yeah.
Hairstyle or bug killing hairstyle.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Have you ever I've ran into some situations like that, like you was talking about the girl that you didn't quite satisfy or whatever, up to your standards.
She said it was good, but she didn't come. And that was kind of a conflicting thing to me. I was like, dang.
Yeah. But I've definitely been in situations where it was just quiet. And then those are times when you ask and you'd be like, yo, like what's going on? Like, was it cool? And sometimes in those situations, I'm like, yeah, I come like twice. She came like, I'd be like, I came like twice or something like that. You'd be like, dang, I didn't even know.
Because women aren't all the same. They're not all overly animated.
That's how I know that. That's what I was saying. That stuff is learned behavior. Yes. All that yelling and oh my God, oh my God, oh
Some
my
women
God.
just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
And then when it's done, they're like, wow, I came 3 times. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, she lied to me in my face. And she's really not lying.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what she does.
What happened. Yeah.
Or you could be like me, the guy that asked, and she's like, no, I didn't come.
Yeah. That's a failed mission.
It's all good.
Yeah.
She was cool with it.
Yeah.
I redeemed myself.
There you go.
She's like, oh, it was still good. You want a beer? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. We can go ahead and move on from here. I'm sure we had enough conversation about that. Mm-hmm. Switching gears. I'm sure you guys might have heard this story. It's been viral on TikTok. A woman hit in the face with a brick, stating that she was hit in the face with a brick because she would not give her number to this guy. I'll read the article. Right. And this story is starting to unravel a little bit. I've been catching some wind of some inconsistencies within the story. Woman says man hit her face with a brick while crowd watched. A video has gone viral on social media of a woman documenting her experience after she claimed a man hit her in the face with a brick after she declined to give him her number. On Sunday, in a video on Instagram posted by the Shave Room, the woman can be heard saying, y'all, this man hit me in the face with a brick and all these black men just watched. This man grabbed a rock and then hit me in the face because I wouldn't give him my number. Her name is Bashay, continued to yell at the crowd of men near her and said, I want you to be the man and do something. You gonna let this man hit me in my face? The next video shows Bashay in the hospital wearing a gown with a large swollen lump on the side of her face. In the video, she continued to say that the crowd of men just watched her get the brick thrown at her. Let the man get in a car and leave. How is this okay? She asked. Okay. Now, what I did is this. I had a reaction to this on TikTok, but what I said was this, and I feel like I was right. I don't think that there's ever a excuse or scenario where a woman should be hit in the face with a brick. Literally, there is no excuse for that. However, I think as a society, we need to stop being so strong in our convictions before we know what the fuck is going on. And before we generalize everybody, right? And I think it sucks that like it's really convenient to shit on every guy and be like, men ain't shit. They're losers. They don't know how to be men. Black men and just men in general, they're all nobodies. And we have to defend ourselves because men don't stand up for us. I'm like, these narratives are crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's usually the worst people that control the narratives on the internet. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful because we had that girl, Carly Russell, that said she was kidnapped and she wasn't. And then you got fucking... what's his name that said he was beat up by MAGA supporters. What the fuck was his name?
Smollett.
Yeah, Jesse Smollett said he got beat up by MAGA supporters and he fucking lied. Mm-hmm. So you got a bunch of people on the internet that do things for attention or for GoFundMe accounts and people fall for it. right? And in this case, there's been some inconsistencies. And one of them was this woman has been doing this multiple times. She said that she was attacked in 2020 and she got like almost 14,000 on that time. Then recently with this one, she got 42,000. Then another time she said somebody assaulted her. So this is something very common. It's very commonplace in her life where people attack her. She creates a GoFundMe and she does that. She even made a video. She says, I know that lying to someone, this is what she said in the video, and it was really sick. It was years ago. She said, I know that lying to somebody, it takes away the freedom of choice. It takes away their freedom of a choice. So that's why I do this to men. Right? Basically, you take away the freedom of choice from what she's saying, and you get to manipulate people. Because they don't, I don't really know exactly how she said it verbatim.
Yeah.
But she basically said you take away the freedom of choice from somebody when you lie to them. And when she lies, she basically, she's able to make money off of this by having these weird bruises and shit. And then her face was like that because I guess there was a person that was in a clinic and they stated that she had a what do you call it, like a beauty, one of those injections, and she had an allergic reaction to an injection in her face, and they were in the hospital draining her face. It wasn't because she got hit with a brick.
Yeah,
it was a reaction to one of those inserts in her face. So look, man, you guys can choose to believe what you want, but my thing is what I'm standing on is that two things are true. Stop being so strong in your convictions. Because you could be wrong, and these people could be manipulating you for financial gain. Because she's made $42,000 so far. Also, as men, we have to be careful what we engage. We can't look at everybody and say, "Oh, woman in danger, need to help her." Here's why. There's a guy we know named Blaine, right?
Yeah. And
Blaine is a very well-known case around Bakersfield for stopping a stranger from hurting a woman, and he got his arm sliced up. The guy was in the hospital. He had nerve damage, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure he probably doesn't take anything back, but he could have died. Okay?
Yeah, it's in a dangerous situation.
You have to be careful what you're expecting men to do because that expectation does not exist for women. If I'm in Chipotle trying to get a Chipotle bowl and a woman starts assaulting me, women are not going to stop her. They're going to call the police. See, women are not going to engage in things like that. They're going to call the cops. I don't see a bunch of women doing that. Now, it's different if it's their brother. If a woman's brother is getting assaulted by his fiance or some shit, a woman is going to come to his aid and put hands on that girl because that's her brother or that's her uncle. That's somebody in her family. Yeah. But as men, we're expected to stand up for strangers, and a woman could be worth 5 cents, and I'm risking my life for a woman like that? Fuck that shit. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
I've learned. Also, I remember my dad, my aunt on my dad's side was being beaten up by her boyfriend. And my dad found out about it, found the dude and fucked him up. The dude ran off and my aunt called the police on my dad. See, sometimes when you see women that are getting physically assaulted, that's wrong and it should not happen, but it's not their first rodeo. And sometimes the assaulter has such control over them that they will flip on you for defending them. You have to be careful. You have to be careful what energy you're engaging because you're going to get in some shit. And that ain't cool, man. And there was another scenario that I had. Not only that, but there was a time me and my dad were at a gas station called Lucky 7. And this girl got backhanded to the ground. And me and my dad turned around like, oh, my God. We was about to drive off. And he bent over to grab the girl and pick her up, the dude that slapped her. And he had a pistol sticking out his back pocket. So you tell me, were me and my dad supposed to engage that situation? Because we both probably wouldn't be here. So we have to be careful what we're asking people to do. And we're being demonized. And not only that, the chick is probably lying. There's too many. And then they also got footage. There is no footage showing any assault of a brick. There are multiple angles that these business owners release that show no assault. In addition to that, there's no police report. And each time she's been assaulted, I'll use in quotes, each time she's been assaulted or beat up by somebody, she never filed one police report.
Yeah.
So this is just looking real scammy. Real motherfucking scammy. And for the last week, I haven't really said anything, but I've just watched everybody just be like, men are garbage. They're trash. Men don't know how to be men anymore. And I think the issue I have with it is not just because of men. I think that there are some people that feed into, confirmation bias. You've probably had shit men in your life. You've had a sample size of men who lied to you, cheat on you, stole from you, whatever. And you just say all men ain't shit. And that's not cool. You've experienced no percent of men in the world, and this is your opinion. It's almost like a dude telling me, man, these hoes ain't shit. All they want to do is take your money and do this and that. And I'm thinking like, brother, you have dated 5 women that treated you like that, and now all women ain't shit. Have you ever tried to switch your energy and reverse engineer yourself and figure out why you're attracting these women or why you want them? Have you ever taken any time to do that? You don't have the right to talk about every woman because you've experienced 9 of them that treated you like shit. That's just not how the real world works.
Yeah.
And it's all confirmation bias, and it's annoying that the loudest voices on the internet are the most toxic voices that control the narrative. And it's like, bro, you guys got to shut the fuck up. You're not helping.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway that I have is if you're a man and you think in any of those situations like you were describing where a woman gets backhanded or the sister gets her hands put on her or the woman is at Starbucks and somebody is attacking her with a machete, of all those situations, you as a man, think in that situation that the right thing to do is to jump in there and defend a woman, then that's good. Like, there's nothing wrong with the person that is doing that. The only thing that I will say is that you got to be willing to lose your life in those situations to defend that person. And if you're not a person that, is willing to lose your life because, like Eddie mentioned, there's in those situations, it's more nuanced than a woman just getting assaulted. Right. And I just say personally for me, I'm not jumping into no situation.
Nah, man.
Unless it's dealing with like me and mine or my family or whatever, my relationship or whatever the case may be, then, they got to figure that out on their own. Or I would just call the police or, call 911 or whatever.
Yeah.
But in those situations, it's too much emotion involved and it's too many moving parts to where if a guy is crazy enough to put his hands on a woman, you got to already imagine he a little bit off. You know 100%. What I mean? So, and like you said, it's situations where, like with Blaine was, I don't know exactly how the story played out, but I think there was a woman that was dealing with this guy on some level, and I don't know if she tried to break it off with him or whatever the case may be. But whatever happened, he came into Starbucks. And he was trying to kill her. And I think to this day, she's really still messed up. Last time I heard, she was like in a wheelchair and stuff like that.
Wow.
And Blaine, he got sliced up. He was in the hospital and he, his nerves in his hand, like last time I seen him, he still has like trouble closing his hand all the way. Like that's just that, that's kind of what he lives with. But Blaine is a person that I think he would probably do it again if that was the situation, just because he kind of looks at himself in that kind of hero thing, and that was an opportunity for him to really save somebody's life. But as far as me, like I just I don't see myself doing that, just because I know in those situations, imagine if you do that, you saved this girl's life from a person that was dang near about to kill her, and then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you see them on Facebook getting married or something like that. I would be like,
yeah, it was all for nothing.
Yeah.
So. I'll say this too, and I'll add this in there. I think that men and women need to protect each other. I really do. And here's what I mean by that. The way women can protect men too is, ladies, for example, if you're with your husband or you're with your boyfriend and you guys are walking down the street and you see a couple arguing, and the dude is calling his girlfriend bitches and telling her to shut up, all kinds of shit, right? Just disrespectful stuff. And your girl says, hey, you asshole, don't talk to her like that. What she doesn't realize is she just put your life in danger because she got you involved in some shit that you didn't sign up for. And this guy's calling his girlfriend bitches and shit over there. We both should ignore that and keep walking and let them figure it out because they're both adults. Okay. But instead, you engaged that woman and said, you engaged that couple and said, hey, don't talk to her like that, asshole. And then the guy turns around to your girl and says, shut up, bitch, mind your business. Now you gotta get involved with this guy now. Mm-hmm. Now you got beef with him because your girl couldn't be quiet. Now you fighting this dude, you beating his ass. You getting the best of him, and then he poke you. Now you bleeding to death only because your girlfriend couldn't be quiet.
Yeah,
this shit really happens. The way you protect a man is not get us involved in shit that we don't need to be involved in. I'm dead. You need to. This is for men and women. Be careful with the energy you engage.
That was this is kind of related, but kind of not related. Nipsey Hussle was doing an interview and he was talking about like people from his gang or whatever. He was saying like there will be like a situation where somebody from his gang, they'll do something a little bit outlandish or out of pocket, and he's like, as affiliates, we have to kind of have his back. If he pop off at a club or something like that, like we can't just let him get jumped. Like we got to go over there and handle the situation accordingly. But he was saying, at the same time, when we get back to the hood, we're going to have that conversation like, hey, bro, that was out of line. Like, you need to be able to control your emotions a little bit more. You need to be able to do this. So I say that to say, like, sometimes you got to be above the nonsense. And you got to be able to, like, discern, like, when is the opportune time to, like, say something and not say something. 100%. Especially, I think a lot of women, what they don't realize, like, and it's important we're having this kind of conversation, because a lot of women think that it's just like a lot of this machismo stuff going on. But we are like, for the most part, we're people that are like reactionary. You know what I mean? We're not out here playing offense. We playing defense.
Right.
So I think that and we, especially the older you get and there's more stakes involved. As 30 people in their 30s, we're not out here trying to like just fight any and everybody.
Fuck no.
Especially,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, people be carrying guns. Like I was working at. I was what was that?
That was you.
Clap? I didn't do nothing.
I didn't clap.
That was weird.
Oh, okay.
There's some ghosts in here.
I thought you clapped, dude.
No, I literally just went like this.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Well. All right. But no, I was at when I was working at a bar, there was a situation where it was an off-duty security guard. He was just in there like drunk, talking to people, and they didn't really like how he was talking. One thing led to another, and I don't know if he got a real gun or fake gun, whatever the case may be, but he came through shooting. You know what I mean? And that was literally just because the dudes didn't want to, they just didn't like how he was talking. He was talking crazy, and they ended up fighting him and stuff like that. So I say that to say, like, it's, we don't, as certain, it's like the level-headed men, we don't mind the confrontation if it comes down to it, but we're not looking for it. And I think that a lot of women need to understand, like, in those situations, that we're not trying to, it's not like a dick swinging contest out here. We're trying to protect ourselves and just go home to see our families. We're not out here trying to, like, be these superheroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's asking a lot. Also, too, is I think we need to protect our women, though, like the women in our families, our girlfriends, our wives. We need to protect them by doing this too. When we're out and about and we're with our wife or girlfriend, whatever, even our moms, sisters, whatever, when there's a dude out and he's causing problems and you're walking by him and he's like, what you looking at, motherfucker? Right? You just need to look over at him and just ignore him and keep walking. Because if you engage him, he's like, what are you looking at, motherfucker? And you like, I don't know what you looking at. And then you guys start fighting. You just put every woman in danger that you're with. And here's why. If you with your lady and you fight this dude and you putting hands on him and all of a sudden he catch you with a lucky shot and he start beating your ass? What if he turn around now, he whooping your girl's ass now? Because
you sleep.
You got to understand something. You can't beat everybody up. Yeah. So when you engage that dude because he had a problem, now you fighting with this dude for no reason, and he fuck you up, you fall down, now he beat you and your girlfriend up. And that can happen.
You also got to realize, like, as an adult, fights don't end.
No.
Like in school, the fight would get broke up by the security guard or the teachers or whatever. When you're an adult, the fight you just fight till there ain't no clock.
Hey man, some niggas fight to the death.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to fight. Do you understand me when I tell you? I'm not trying to fight anybody. Nobody. I'm not a tough guy. If I'm fighting you, I am literally in fear for my life. So that's the other element. Since I'm in fear for my life, I could grab you, pick you up in the air, and slam you on your neck. Now, either I could kill you that way, or you could be paralyzed, or if I fuck you up bad enough, now my freedom is at jeopardy for assault.
That's what I'm saying.
So why? That's the thing. Why should I engage in this negative, low vibrational bullshit just because, now here's the difference. It's always a time and place. It's always a time and place, because you could defend a woman that's a stranger in a different way. I was at McDonald's one day waiting on my order. This dude came in there like, I need this, and it doesn't make sense that I don't have blah, blah, blah. And he's just going off. And I told him, I said, hey, brother, hey, man, let's just try to keep it cool, brother. Try to keep it cool. It ain't that deep, bro. It's just a burger. He's like, well, it's my business. I said, man, but look at the girl on the other side of the counter, man. She couldn't be no older than 17, 18 years old. And you a grown man yelling and screaming at her, right? So I stepped in, but I did it in a calm and respectful way, because when you're engaging strangers in the public, that motherfucker might have 10 bodies in his basement, and that's the same person you chose to talk shit to on a Tuesday? Good luck. You need to watch your fucking mouth and how you talk to people in the streets, because especially even in road rage, so, like I've dropped my reactions to people by I was telling Keith, I've reduced them by like another 15%.
Yeah.
Because people do crazy shit in traffic, dangerous shit, right? And by you flipping them off and blowing your horn at them, you're doing nothing. You are simply just another character in their story that they have to kill. Now they're like, oh, you want to flip me off? Okay, I'm going to follow you all the way home. You know what? I'm going to follow this guy to his job and I'm blow his head off.
Bro, I've seen, you talk about the low vibration stuff. I've seen the simplest situations
go crazy.
Like, I've been up here and then just listening out, to downtown Bakersfield, and you just hear people arguing. I'm up here like editing a video or something like that. You hear people arguing, so I look out the window. I'm like, no, what's going on? Then you look outside and you look at people in the drive-through at the ATM just arguing, and people trying to like get around each other, and they running into each other's cars and stuff.
Chaos.
Like that. I'm like, yo, this is like you said, this is low vibrational stuff, and people, they justify it. Like, I'm not going to let anybody step to me like that.
There you go.
I'm pulling money out of my ATM. And that's a lot of, also that's broke behavior. Yeah. Niggas be like, because what happens is you bring your whole life into these arguments. Yeah. Like, because it's not really about what they did or somebody taking too long. Because I remember one time, and this is not like a confrontational situation, but I remember one time I was putting cash, I have vending machines, right? So I'm putting cash into the ATM. And a lot of times it's just easier to go through the drive-through than to go inside when you only got like $75 in ones or whatever. So I'm in there, and the machines, they haven't upgraded them enough to where they take bills fast and they be sorting through them or whatever the case may be. So I'm putting in like 10 at a time, 10. The person behind me is just flustered, like, oh, he's waving his hands and looking at me like, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, dog, like, where do you need to be on a Friday?
Right.
That is so important that I can't even do normal stuff. It's one thing when you like, I've been in situations at an ATM where I'm like, I know you don't got money, and you hear checking your balance. Because when you look at them, generally the people that take the longest at the ATM is the people with no money. Because I've been in situations where I've been waiting like 15 minutes, and then I go up there, and then they mess around and leave their receipt, and then I look at their balance, and there's $0 on there. I'm like, you was checking your savings, you was checking your checking account, you was checking your Bitcoin account, you was checking your stock portfolio, and all of that has zero in it, and you was up here for 30 minutes.
You got to understand something, too. A lot of people are reacting based on what they're lacking in their reality. So like you mentioned, the financials might be off. They might be at a job they fucking hate. Their relationship's going bad. They ain't got their dick sucked by their wife in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Things are going bad. Everything is bad. And everything they're doing is reaction from their reality. So you could never put up a fight against a person that's that miserable because they willing to take it places that you really don't want to go. You know, in your mind, and here's the problem too. In your mind, you think like, man, I'm going to flip this person off and go on about my day. Nah. See, you can flip that person off and tell him, man, fuck you, right? And a dude would be like, you know what? I was going to kill myself tonight anyways. I'm going to kill this motherfucker too. Hit a U-turn, follow you down the road. Now he's shooting at you in public. That shit really happens. You cannot expect people to intervene in situations involving strangers. It is just absurd to do it.
Yeah.
Any woman in my life, I got their back. I feel like, especially if it's your girl, she's maneuvered in her personal life going through situations where she probably felt uncomfortable. Maybe it was some dude that called her a bitch or told her to fuck herself or some dude she was scared of. But now that I'm here, that ain't happening no more.
Yeah.
Okay? But your homegirl that keep getting involved with these toxic dudes, if he slap her in the face and I'm not around, I'm not getting involved. She getting her ass whooped because she's choosing niggas that whoop her ass. And I'm telling you why. I'm going to keep it real. I got an aunt on my father's side that most of the dudes she has ever dated all put hands on her. I say 85% of the dudes she's dated have put hands on her. And I think that there are people, men and women, that choose people that do shit like this. And ain't nothing you could do about it because my dad beat one of the dudes up and my aunt called the police on my fucking dad.
Yeah.
So
Your aunt must have had Allstate insurance.
I don't know. All I know is she had all black eyes. It's like you can't fix people, man. You can't fix it. Because I guarantee you it was a good Samaritan or one day. He seen a woman getting slapped and he beat the shit out that dude. Beat him up and be like, don't put your hands on a woman, you asshole. Then you drove off and you had that S on your chest and you felt like Superman. I defended a woman today. I feel great. But what you don't know is that what that dude that you beat up, when he got home, he beat the fuck out of that girl that night because he got his ass whooped. So you thought you did something, you did nothing. The best thing you could do in certain situations is call the fucking police.
Yeah.
Because there's footage, there's cameras around. All the cameras got to do is catch him slapping that woman, and he could do more. And the police can do more with that situation than you can because they got cameras, they got documentation. But with you just Joe Blow that's assaulting a dude. So now you try to be Good Samaritan, but now Mr. Good Samaritan got a criminal record.
Yeah, for me, if I don't ever get into a physical altercation in my life, the rest of my life,
that's my goal.
Yeah, I'll be good.
God, please.
Yeah,
man. Hey, shout out to Baby Hulk, man. We got he's a real supporter of the podcast, Baby Hulk, man. Shout out to we got a fight coming up too.
That's cool.
The dude is 5 foot, right? 5 foot dude, MMA fighter. But here's the thing: if you look at a guy like that and you like, man, fuck you. Man, just go to YouTube and look up Baby Hulk.
Yeah.
He fought this white dude. The dude was like 6'4" or some shit.
He was putting hands on
He was beating the fuck out of that dude.
He's explosive too. He has a way of like the way he throws punches, it's almost like Inspector Gadget. Like the arm is like longer all of a sudden.
Yeah, he got a long reach for a 5 foot guy. And it's like an overhand right.
Yeah, it's like a little looping punch, and he's just catching the dude.
And it's hard to detect when it's coming because it's almost like he does it not from a crouching position.
Yeah,
but it's almost like he's not bracing a punch, but it'll get his left hand up and just come over with the overhand right and just be binking your ass.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop it. It's just every fight, it's this person getting smashed with that right.
Yeah, that's the type of nigga that be beating. I'm not saying that Baby Hulk is abusive, but that's the type of nigga that you would look at and you'll see him like putting his hands on somebody and you be like, hey man, you need to stop. And that nigga just beat your ass.
He the type of dude that if you are one of those, street tough dudes, see, there's a difference. There's trained fighters and there's street guys. The street dudes always think they tough. For one, they can't fight longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So if all you did was just move around and keep your guard up, you would beat their ass.
Yeah.
Because they can't fight. They
get tired.
They drink too much alcohol and shit. They got no skills.
Smoking weed,
drinking alcohol, and just being a loser. Those dudes you'll beat up quick. But the crazy thing is you see a dude like Baby Hulk and be like, man, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right?
That nigga put hands on you.
Well, man, this is why you don't engage strangers. You don't engage strangers. Leave them the fuck alone. Bro, you should be not fearful because you're a coward, but you should be fearful in a good way.
A healthy fear.
A healthy fear of people in society. When I go out, I'm super respectful. Hey, excuse me, brother, man. When I'm at the gym, even if it's a dude my size, I'm not afraid of dude, but I respect him because I'm not trying to fight a dude my size. I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck I look like fighting a dude that's like 275, 280? No, I'm not trying to fight. It was this big white dude in the gym the other day. He's a little taller than me, so he's about like 6'4", with a big old beard, big guy. And we didn't bump into each other, but we got kind of close. I was like, hey, my bad. He's like, oh, my bad, dude. And then we just like got back to our stations, did our thing. So he struck me as a dude that's like me. He's not trying to get in a fight with another big guy.
Yeah, that's a headache.
It's a headache because even if I hit him hard, he can hit me harder.
You just never know.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of strength he got under that beard, man. I ain't trying to fight this motherfucker.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I think the thing for me is not necessarily getting punched hard. The thing for me is punching somebody hard and them just eating it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That's my biggest fear.
So you just popping, bow, and he's like, "That's all you got, motherfucker."
Yeah,
you be like, "I gave you everything I had."
Yeah, because I know just from sparring and boxing and stuff like that, I could crack a little bit. Yeah, but if you throw one of them Baby Hulks and then he just eat that, like, oh, all right, he sucked the blood out of his teeth and keep coming forward, then you like.
Now the worst ones is if you hit them and they do that thing that fighters do where they ball their fist up and hit themselves in the face.
Yeah.
Or like the Muay Thai guys that do the leg thing.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, this guy's gonna kick me into fucking.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna kick me into oblivion.
No, you got it, bro. I'm a chill.
I think the Muay Thai guys in a street fight might be the worst. Because a Muay Thai guy, have you ever seen how hard they kick? Oh my fucking God. Nobody is ready to take those kicks, especially in the back of the leg. And it's like this fatty part in the back of your leg that once they kick you there, all them nerves get hit. And it's just bow. Like if you ever see an MMA fighter, UFC more specifically, take a kick to the back of the hamstring area and they keep fighting, that's because they have built up that mental strength over years of training. But if you kick me or Keith in the back of the leg, we're fucked.
Yeah. I don't got that.
That's the first time we ever been kicked like that. We might, if you get kicked that hard in that area, you can fall and you're not able to get back up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now when you fall down from getting kicked, now the person's on top of you, ground and pound now. They ain't got to use freaking jujitsu, nothing.
Yeah.
Now they got you on the ground and they just pounding your ass out.
Yeah, I'm not really built for all my combat skills is up here. As soon as you go below the waist and it's over.
Yeah, I'm a very novice general boxing person. I have some very brief training.
Yeah,
but not significant enough for me to be walking around like I'm that dude, because that ain't the truth at all.
Yeah,
that ain't true at all, man. I think just in that fact, I need to find a solid boxing gym around here.
Yeah, I wanna find one too.
Yeah, man.
It's a couple out there. I don't know if it. I don't want to make an excuse, but like, it's just not that many professional boxers here.
there's
So it's
not.
different if you go to LA. It's different if you in Las Vegas, where it's like
It's surplus out there.
yeah, you're gonna find some former professional boxing trainers that you could run into. Now here, it's a lot of guys that like they got like they're training like older people to lose weight, not necessarily like
really
younger people
boxing.
to be boxers. So
I think you got to sharpen that knife, man. Because my thing is I don't ever want my my skills to be not even robotic, but something I would have to think about during an altercation. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's keeping my hands up or, looking at that person's body and where their feet are and where their face is. Because a lot of people that get in these street fights, they don't got no head movement. They head is stationary. They chin ain't down. Because it's so many mechanics involved with just throwing punches. These people that be street fighting, bro, they neck wobbling everywhere. So you hit them in the
lunging, reaching.
Bro, you can the average man, I'm just keeping it 100. The average man, you could probably knock him out with a jab, bro. Because they be like, "What's up, man? What you want to do?" And they don't got no head movement. So when you throw a shot, they not gonna move their head. The only thing the ghetto niggas know how to do is do that move where they move their neck back like this. That's the only.
They be leaning.
They be leaning,
and then they be doing all this weird stuff like this.
Yeah, so it's nothing. And then when they throw that right, it's not that fast, and it's so over telegraphed that you know it's coming. You know it's coming. So all you got to do is either cover up and step underneath, and then throw that right, and just jab them out. Or or when they do that, you could step under, grab them, and slam them on their head, and then walk off.
It'd be like a lot of these hood niggas, they be having no hands either.
None. They don't got no hands, and they only think they tough because they fighting a bunch of people like them. They can't fight.
Yeah.
The average dude.
But if you fought a nigga that had decent skills, that just trained a little bit in boxing, that'd be 90% of these gang members up.
Oh, yeah. A lot of gang members can't fight. Once you hit them enough times, they'd be like, I'll be back. You'd be like, oh, this dude's going to kill me.
He's going to shoot you.
He's going to shoot me. Yeah. But if he's going to shoot me, I'm not letting him get to that trunk. Now I got to stomp him out. And you see, he stomped out Tiny Loke from the east side, cuz. Stabbed him out, cuz. Oh, man. Well, how did we get here? All right, man. I'll leave that conversation with stating this. Do I feel like women need to be protected? I do. Do I feel like there's a time and place for that? Yes. I don't think that every one size fits all. And I think that men need to be careful what they're engaging when they're out and about. And I think women also need to protect themselves and their man by not getting him involved in the scenario that could cause him to lose his freedom or to lose his life.
Yeah.
We have to be more careful about what we're getting our women involved in, because even a man could get in an argument with a woman somewhere, and women are very defensive too, though. If you, let's say you out and about, right, and some woman is disrespecting you in front of your girlfriend, she might get pissed the fuck off. She'd be like, "Hey, bitch, what you talking to?" It happens all the time. So then at that point, if a woman's like doing something to you, you want to disengage so you don't get your girl mad, so where she's fighting this stranger. So we have to protect ourselves from getting involved in the bullshit.
I think the best thing is just go through the proper channels.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you see an altercation, use these police officers, they're coming to situations ready to defend people.
100%.
And, they have the training and the resources to make sure, everybody is safe in those situations. But if you just a regular person on an average regular day, if you just minding your business and you see an altercation like that, you probably just going to get some food, or you coming out of the store or something. Like, it ain't like you got some weapons on you or like nothing to defend yourself. You just like trying to be a superhero. So that's why you got to call the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Take a step back and see. Take it from there, man. I started sweating up in here, boy. It was
getting a little warm.
It's a hot day today. All right, switching gears. Mark Cuban. Tells working class people to save their money and not buy that $5 latte. Let me go ahead and get the video and we'll let it run for a second because I don't want it to, have any biases out there. Let's see.
Oh, man. Save. You don't need that extra latte, that extra streaming subscription going to that fancy dinner. You want to put that in a money market account, earning 5, maybe more percent, and watch that sucker grow.
Oh, Marky Q, you did not have to announce how much of an out-of-touch billionaire you are. You'd cultivated this persona of being like the people's billionaire because of your prescription drug company. I guess when you're that out of touch, it's hard to be aware of it. Okay, so let's say that you get coffee once a week, every Friday. It's got to be that brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso, $6.15. You get that every Friday to celebrate getting through the week and to get you to that weekend. But not anymore, because you decide that Mark has a real pulse on the working class and working poor. You decide to forego that little bit of happiness every week, so at the end of the year, you can have $295. All of that work, all of that denying yourself, and what do you have to show for it at the end of the year? Maybe you can buy Mark Cuban's shirt. But let's say you decide to invest it in a money market account. Like Mark suggested, you might get up to 5% interest. I mean, how much was the inflation in July? No, we're off to a great start. But you hold strong because Mark said this was a great idea. So you don't have any more latte happiness for 10 years. How much money would you have? Would you look at that? That's probably enough for 1 month's rent in 10 years. No, but that was such good.
All right. Now, there's a mixture of things there. You can tell she has somewhat of a eat the rich mentality. But there's validity on both sides. And here's why we're having this conversation. When it comes to Mark Cuban using the latte as an example, he mentioned if you skip out on that latte every Friday and invest it in a money marketing account or whatever, you can do this and that. Here's the thing. When you talk about building wealth or whatnot, I think the validity in his statement is you will save money. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Me and Keith both have a app called Rocket Money, and it just literally gives you clarification on all of your finances. And that would be a really good ad for me and you because we really fucking use Rocket Money.
Yeah, I really be using Rocket Money.
Yeah. But it just gives you clarification like, hey, look, I'm paying for, why do I have, this subscription? I could go without this, right? It just gives you clarification on your usage so you could cut back costs, right? And me and Keith both adopt that. But where I feel like she has a point is he's using something as small as a latte, and the average American person feels like they deserve somewhat of a prize for, working a job they're not that passionate about, and that latte on a Friday is something that they use to take them into the weekend, and also the problem I won't say a problem I have is when you're talking about wealth, I think speaking from his vantage point, he needs to be a little more transparent about how to really build billionaire wealth. Like, for example, how Mark has, his team, the Dallas Mavericks, and they have all those jerseys and those shirts. Those shirts, I'm pretty positive everything is outsourced to like some country where brown people make it, right? Mm-hmm. And they print on those shirts and they mark them up like 300%. Mm-hmm. And they sell like a shirt that took about 20 cents to make. They sell it for like $45. Mm-hmm. So I think that Mark might want to talk about those things instead of a fucking latte. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. From her perspective, I think that she was a little bit, I won't say wounded by the statement, but I feel like she mentioned, the billionaires hoarding most of the wealth and this and that and the third. I think at the end of the day, them hoarding the wealth, if they still earned it, then it's like, what are we going to do? Like, we're telling them what to do with their money at some point too, which is kind of backwards also.
And who said he's hoarding the wealth?
Yeah, we don't know.
He employs a lot of people. I'm sure he's not paying the person that sweeps up the Dallas Mavericks basketball arena $1 million in salary.
719 billionaires. What
do you mean?
That's all there is. There's 719 billionaires.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like that the idea of him hoarding the wealth is just kind of like, it's just a cliche that she doesn't know factually where all of his money is being spent.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, he literally has a show where he's giving people opportunity to to thrive and, investing in Shark Tank.
I don't know. Some of it is a little predatory sometimes.
Yeah, that's like, but that's the horrible stories that we hear. But what I'm saying is, on just a general basis, there are people that are coming in, everyday people that have started a business, and there are people that are investing $500,000, $100,000 to, own a percentage of the company. But yeah, the thing for me is that the annoying part of this conversation is it just people are just bashing, not people, but there was people in the comments too. But this woman is just bashing Mark Cuban just because he's rich. She's not necessarily looking at the message, and she probably got triggered by the latte just because she's kind of like a cookie cutter white woman that probably loves going to Starbucks on Friday and getting her little latte on every Friday. But she's just the thing about it too, and I don't know what her TikTok looks like, but she seems like a pretty successful TikToker. This thing went viral, so I would be curious to know, like, what are you doing with your finances? Because a lot of people have opinions about what Mark Zuckerberg is doing with his money, or what Mark Cuban is doing with their money, all at the same time. Where she mentioned on there something about making $100,000 or being 100,000 something she said about making some sort of money. So I pose to all those people that have opinions about like what billionaires are hoarding the wealth. What type of charitable events are you doing? You know what I mean? If you make $100,000 and Mark Cuban makes $1 billion, and maybe he has a foundation, and maybe he's only giving $50,000 a year to this charitable organization, and that's like a micro fraction of his wealth. But a lot of those people that have those opinions, and they are not making as much money as Mark Cuban, they don't be giving no type of nothing to charitable events.
That's true.
They'll walk by a homeless man, you know what I mean? And that's asking for change. So I just think that for me, when I look at these situations, I'm not trying to dissect Mark Cuban as a human being. Like, is the information solid? That's kind of what I'm looking at. And whatever he said is there's literally nothing wrong to what he said, and everything he said is pretty factual.
Well, I think philanthropy is a little easier when you are a billionaire, though, because you have a surplus of things. But relatively speaking, you probably say, hey, what is she doing comparable to that? I just think that people don't say it, but they feel a little less obligated to have those same type of things going on in their life when they're not having the amount of success that he's having, right? So that could be the reason why. But I remember there was a conversation about Jeff Bezos a long time ago because he donated $700,000 to the Amazon rainforest when it was burning. Remember that?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, my God, he's such a piece of shit. He's so cheap. He donated only $700,000, right? Me and you had the conversation of, what are you donating comparable to Jeff Bezos in your own life?
Yeah.
And it's a good point. Like,
but it'd be simple stuff like going to Panda Express. Hey, do you want to round up to $1 to help this person? And a lot of people say no.
I do. I say no every time now.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, I'm not shaming Mark Cuban or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos for what they're doing, because I know in my personal life, I'm still on the come up. So all these charitable organizations, they ain't getting nothing from me.
Yeah. I just came here for the orange chicken. I didn't come here to give out my money. And they ask now. And the thing too is I heard that a lot of these places that like you round up, but they're still getting a cut of it. Like,
yeah, if you're getting 10% of my 50 cents.
Yeah, it's like, no, dude, I'm not trying to pay you more money. You already bought tacos, already bought, saying orange chicken. I don't need to give you more. And some of the foundations be kind of sketchy. Like, do you want to donate to the Children on Skateboards Foundation? I'll be like, nigga, no.
Yeah.
Just tell them to go get their own skateboard, man. That's how we did it back in the day.
Yeah.
You better get you some of them, what do they call them things? Oh, my God. I can't remember. I don't remember the skateboard lingo.
Oh.
What do they call those things? Trucks?
Oh, the little metal bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a trip, man. Remember, I used to have a homie who used to make his skateboards. Like, he would, like, literally get the skateboard made from scratch at this skateboard shop.
Yeah.
That's a trip, man.
They put the grip tape on it and stuff like that.
Yeah. I had a homie back in the day. I can't remember his name. But he used to do BMX bike riding back when we were freshmen. And that's back when BMX was, like, still really... It was before the X Games and all that shit. And he was doing the BMX bike ride. He had a bike for it and everything. But I guess he tried to bunny hop a gate and he got stuck and he fell forward and cracked all his teeth out.
Oh my God.
And he went to school and his teeth were fucked.
Nah, I'll be out.
They had to put crowns all over his teeth.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, yeah, that shit was wild, bro.
Yeah. That was back in the day too. The technology probably was a little different.
Yeah, so when they fixed his teeth, you could tell like they was fixed, but they wasn't fixed.
What
like
it looked like?
Some of the teeth was, well, when his teeth was cracked up, so they filled them in and they put like crowns on them. Mm-hmm. But like you could tell like some parts of the teeth wasn't all that white and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tricky, man. Ain't nothing you could do about that.
Nah, nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Sometimes billionaires are completely out of touch though, and it's not their fault. Like if you're telling me what worked for you back in 1982, right? When all I did is I invested in a money marketing account, I did this and that. What they need to understand is that the metrics start to shift as time goes on, you know. And also there's like if you work at your job this long and you retire and you work hard, if you work hard, they notice your hard work. He said something earlier, and I was like, Mark, just shut the fuck up. He said, if you're passionate and you go to work and you work hard and you show your enthusiasm, they're going to pay you more money. They're going to pay you more money because they like you being there. And it's like, bro, that's not how it works. That's how it works. That's not how it works in 2023. That's how it worked probably in the fucking 80s, maybe in the 70s, right? But that metric has shifted. Like major corporations do not have loyalty to people like that anymore. So that's how I know that, you know, you're kind of pandering to this antiquated like idea of what the work environment is supposed to be and this and that. We just watched Yellow Freight, right? Yellow Freight just fucked all the drivers, man. And it's so fucked up the way they did it. And there was this black dude that I think I brought it up on here. That black dude that was going nuts on TikTok. He was there. He was 60 some years old. He was there over 30 years and they robbed him of his pension, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, like when you see this go on and you see guys like Mark Cuban or some other billionaires say stuff, it's like, look, you're a billionaire. You're very successful in your business. What happened?
No, it's something floating in the air.
Oh, I was like, what? You just distracted over there? Or what's going on, man?
There's stuff floating around in here.
You just got your hair did, and now you're acting different over here now, man. When'd you get your hair done?
Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a job interview, so I wanted to look presentable, I guess.
Oh, but your hair, but you got a black hairdo, man. That's not professional now, bro.
I thought about that, and then I was like, if y'all don't want to hire me because I look like me, then
yeah, that's
I don't want to work here.
Yeah. I do believe in freedom of expression, and I think that if you go to a job, honestly, bro, with the way the world is now, if you came into the job looking like a fucking lizard, I would still take you seriously only because I need to evaluate you on like a professional level. Mm-hmm. Like I'm looking at you and you probably got piercings and shit everywhere, but it's like, bro, how good are you at this job?
Yeah, that I think that's the most important. The presentation is a little bit there. I don't know. I guess it depends on what field we're working in too. You know what I mean? If it's like a tech thing, you could pretty much look however you want to.
Oh yeah. Now for me, the positive of being a truck driver, we don't have to look anyway. Mm-hmm. I've seen truck drivers with fucking tattoos on their face. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Like, can you drive a truck?
Yeah. Can you get this thing we carrying safely?
That's it. It does not matter. Mm-hmm. So with truck drivers, I've seen truck drivers with their necks tatted up, arms all tatted, hands. No one gives a fuck. Mm-hmm. With a CDL, no one cares, bro. As long as you can drive.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. So if you pick the right industry, then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But don't try to like tattoo your face and say, for some reason, I'm trying to be a school teacher, and they just keep on discriminating. It's like, bro, you got dicks tattooed on your face. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you're not getting a job with dicks tattooed.
Yeah, it's like, you're going to have to, they'll say, look, we can give you a job, but you got to cover up that dick, man.
Unless you're a porn star.
Oh, if you're a porn star, you get dicks on your face. That's just going to add to the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have a stage name, Dick Tracy. I love you, Dick Tracy. I love you.
Rowdy Piper.
Rowdy Piper. Oh, man, these porn names are hilarious.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, it was one of my aunts on my dad's side. We had visited her over in L.A., and we was watching the movie 8 Mile on bootleg because it just came out. And she was looking for the DVD to put it in so we could watch it. And then it was a porno sitting on the table, and it said Cherry Poppins.
Nah.
Bruh,
Your aunt was watching it?
I don't know who was watching it. It was just sitting there, said Cherry Poppins. Bro,
That's crazy.
I was fucking dying, bro.
Yeah. There was a distinction when you knew you could have bootlegs, but some people had the porno bootlegs, and you could just tell. Like, it was something that, I don't know if it was the handwriting or something. You could tell very well that those was different.
Yeah, or it'd be like the extremely high volume. It would say like volume 70.
Yeah.
It'd be like Black Ass, volume 75.
I remember.
That's the most sequels I've ever seen in my life.
I remember. I remember Desmond had. I don't know if he got it from Big Will or what, but it was like a porno, but it was just like clips. It wasn't like full length nothing. It was almost like it was like the equivalent of like a thumbnail.
Wow.
But it was just like 1 minute video, 50-second video. It's just like
crazy thing about it though is when you real young watching that, you'll bust off on that 1 minute video.
You for sure. That's more than enough time. You got enough time to get a snack.
Yeah, it'd be a 45-second video. You already
Dang, you got it all mapped. That is crazy.
Oh man,
that's plenty of time.
Yeah, I remember Chris Rock cracked a joke. He's like, "My wife went to work, and I was just trying to get a little jerk before work." That shit heavy.
That's crazy.
Man. I wonder how many married men in America still be beating their meat.
Probably a lot, man.
A lot.
Yeah, probably a lot. Because it's you know, it could be who knows the situation, but you know, generally to have any sort of sexual intercourse, y'all got to both be on the same page.
Yeah,
you know, whether y'all both got to be feeling it, and that's sometimes a man is feeling it and a woman not. Sometimes a woman want to do it and a man not. So
it's different with women though. When women feeling it, they just push themselves on you. Mm-hmm. It's more like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but you can't do that to women.
Yeah,
you just gotta hope.
That's how niggas is going to prison for a long time.
What?
They getting 30 years for that.
For what?
For just pushing themselves on women.
Well, of course, we know what that's called.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, with women, they more or less could just like kind of like press the issue.
Yeah.
You know, where with us, we just gotta like sit back and hope that you want to do that.
Niggas is just waiting, like,
please God, I ain't busted a nut in 3 weeks. Please God, George.
Just twiddling their fingers, like, yeah, just hoping for an opportunity.
Imagine it's been like probably over a month, and you like, oh, I gotta get a nut off. Yeah. It's like, it's my wife coming home tonight. Please, I hope she's happy.
Yeah. And
then she's like, you like, fuck that. And then you in there, you busting one off. And she like, David! David! What you doing in there? I'm real private about that stuff, bro. I'm going to keep it real. If I came home and I don't say busted, but if I walked in like on my girl and it was porn, I would just turn my head and walk out. Yeah. I'm not even going to get mad.
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation. If it's a situation where, I don't know, like y'all not, maybe you working 12s, like your schedule, like if you on a truck all day long, by the time you get home, you tired, you just got to let that slide.
Yeah, you got to let it slide.
She getting her rocks off.
And I don't want to know what you're watching, nothing. It's just your business.
But if you doing it as like an escape from what I got going on, then that's a different conversation.
That's a little different conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like, it's like that. What's that movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
I don't remember that.
I forget what it's called. It's like something John or something like that. But basically, he was, and Scarlett Johansson is in it. He would have like sex with her, and then afterwards, like either he wouldn't bust or he wouldn't be satisfied. So like afterwards, he would go watch porn. Like
Don John.
Yeah. He's kind of addicted to porn.
Yeah. My thing is though, with the whole porn thing, I think that some people have addictive personalities. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that it's the same thing with alcohol. I don't think things like alcohol are necessarily, they're not good for you, but they're not bad for you when you consume them in a way that's not bad. Like I hardly drink alcohol, so it doesn't do anything to me. It's the same thing as like, porn. Like I've watched it from time to time, but I'm not like subscribing and watching and buying and like
OnlyFans accounts.
Yeah, like nah, bro. I think that when people have addictive personalities and they watch porn, then it becomes like weird. They get addictions. They spend thousands of dollars on it. Somebody said like porn is rotting your brain. Don't ever watch it again. And it's like, bro, you guys got problems.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know if it's kind of hard to say. I don't think that porn is necessarily doing anything bad, but I think that when you do these studies, you can connect porn to certain behaviors, if that makes sense.
It's affecting everybody though. Like
Yeah.
the whole just the culture of people and the shaving the vaginas and stuff. That stuff has an origin. Like there's an origin for it. And the origin is like X-rated movies. It's probably one of the reasons why like a lot of dudes have insecurities about they meat, and it's like, bro, you're actually a normal dude, but you're watching these videos of these actors, and these dudes are like 13 inches. That's not normal.
Yeah. It ain't until you, like, as a man, till you, like, smack somebody down and she be like, oh, my gosh, you're so big. They'd be like, oh, really? Because this whole time I was comparing myself to Mr. Marcus.
Yeah, that's the wrong measuring stick, man. That's why he does those videos.
Yeah.
You know what's sad, though? I think it was an interview that somebody was doing with a porn star, and they said, like, well, I would expect for that person to do, like, to make porn, because how else is he going to get laid?
Ah, that's real.
Because it's like when you reach a certain size and it's too big, women will completely just tell you no.
Yeah.
That's got
that happened to me, and I'm not even like, I ain't no porn star by any means.
Wow.
Yeah.
This nigga keeps bragging on here. She's like, oh no, too big for me.
Your A-roll too big.
Oh man, this nigga took it to the next level. Oh my God. Oh my God, yo. Oh, we gonna have to move on, bro. We don't got no more topics, but we got a question this week.
Oh, dope. Yeah, let's
Yeah. Oh my God, this is nuts.
We gotta have a name for the little question segment.
Yeah,
come up with something.
Yeah. So switching gears, we'll into the questions. We got, and it's unfortunate we had more questions last week, but we got this one here. Should we send or receive nudes?
Oh,
that is a very. I'll say this. I think there's a situation for everything.
Yeah.
However, I will say ultimately we should not, because I mean it's digital, so these pictures can get into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
And you don't want that, because you don't want to be the person that has your body plastered all over the place.
Yeah.
However, I will say this. I feel like there's a certain times where you have a certain energy between you and another person, and I think that depending on what that is, she might have some curiosities about you, and she shows you something, you show her something back, and then you guys are like impressed with what you both see, and then you guys connect on that level.
Yeah.
Because that's happened.
Yeah.
Or the people who are married that send those pictures to each other. You know what I'm saying? To keep things kind of spicy.
Yeah.
So that happens. So ultimately, like, done responsibly, or, if that's your thing, I say no, it's not a problem. But at the same time, it kind of is. Only because that shit could get into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now your picture, it'd be a girl, she could be like a Christian girl. She don't post that stuff on her page. But now everybody got a picture of her butt because somebody, hacked her phone or something like that.
Yeah, man, that stuff is like, I think for me now, back in the day, especially like when Snapchat was like a thing, and it would disappear and stuff like that. Like I was more willing to do it. And then one, I got a little bit older, and then two, I started moving, like trying to like build a career out of like entertainment and stuff like that. And I didn't want like my, somebody hacking somebody's phone or hacking my phone or whatever the case may be. And then, they have like, you had the whole fappening.
What was that?
The fappening where they had hacked all those celebrities' iClouds.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like a bunch of like Scarlett Johansson and all these different women. They were they had news that they had posted all over the internet. So that's a thing. So I try to, for the most part, kind of stay away from that, even inside of my relationship. But I think for people, like if you okay with like the risk of it, then good for you. Go ahead and shoot your news. But I think now the game is like so much different. It's so much like it's like revenge porn and stuff that you'll see. And although that stuff is illegal, it doesn't necessarily prevent it from happening. So I guess the cons of it is like, if you're trying to be a podcaster, you're trying to be an actor, you're trying to be a rapper or whatever the case may be, that stuff could, people could just, throw that up on the internet and you'd be, the talk of Twitter and most of it, especially if you ain't really packing down there, like,
that would be terrible.
It's embarrassing and all that other stuff.
It'll be comments on like Instagram or whatever, be like, I love his music, but he got a little dick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's you shouldn't be able to say that.
Yeah. So but the pros of it, if it's it don't necessarily have to be like an intimate thing, but if it's, not an intimate thing, but it don't necessarily have to be like somebody you love or anything like that. But if you're just trying to, like see what's to come of a situation, then if you feel comfortable sending that, then that's a way to spice up the situation. But yeah, just now, even if I was like not in a relationship, I just think that I would probably move a little bit more careful nowadays, just because, like you said, it's so easy to, even if you say like stuff is deleted, nothing's ever really deleted now because you got different Dropbox and Google Drive and the iCloud and all these different areas where you can save stuff. So yeah, it's just like, and for me, I trust myself. So as far as receiving them, that wouldn't be an issue because I know that like I'm not that type of person. I'm not just gonna be posting nobody's thing. I'm not gonna be shit. It's like, but I know dudes like that have a stash. They have like every nude that they've ever received.
That's ridiculous.
They keep it on their phone and stuff, and they be sharing it with their friends and stuff.
That's not cool, bro.
This girl could end up getting married or whatever the case may be, and you still got these photos.
That ain't cool.
So that's a thing. But as far as like that goes, I just think that it's a personal thing. I personally wouldn't do it.
No.
And I don't really condone anybody to do it, but I think if you do it, you gotta just understand the risks that's involved.
Yeah, that's not cool. Spreading nudes around is just really irresponsible. Yeah. I think once I receive a nude, I'm like, I appreciate this, and I look at it for a little bit, and then I just delete it the same day. Because what does this do good to, like, how does that serve me to have that around?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be careful, man. You don't want to be that person, man. Mm-hmm. Especially if, you know what I'm saying, at least if it's like, let's say it's like a sex video, that's embarrassing, but at least let it be on a good day where you really putting it down that day.
Yeah. And hopefully it's warm outside. You don't want to be having no winter dick in no video.
No, that'd be terrible.
Yeah. You don't want no December dick in the video.
Oh, there'd be somebody in the comments. Man, that dude is all balls.
Dang. He real bally. That nigga balling.
Oh, man. All right, let's go ahead and close this thing down, man. All right, folks. Before we close it down, man, make sure you head over to truckersmind.com for merch. Head over to ATMPOD on Cash App for a friendly donation. Head over to our social media. That would be at _truckersmind _podcast for the Instagram. And head over to a Truckers Mind podcast on YouTube to check out the video. All right. Well, it looks like we made it to the end of this thing. Thank you for listening to a Truckers Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.